you've grown up with your family. You've said, and I quote that, in my case, I always have grown as having discussions around the business with my father. We also spent holidays going to the offices and factories, so I always knew I was going to be part of the business. Having worked outside, coming back into the business, working with your cousins, working with your uncles, was that a challenge?
Working outside sort of enabled me to work in a good professional setting, and our group also professionalized management towards the late 90s and early 2000s. So I think coming back into a professional and pretty structured setting was not so bad.
And Lavanya, for you to have worked many years outside, to come back and work with your father, your grandfather, how much of a challenge was it?
I'd been outside the family business for about 7 years. I worked there for 4 years initially when I started, and then I was out of it for 7 years while I did my MBA and worked outside and came back to it. The only difference that I could say is when I joined in 2005, and I must have been, when I was 21 back then, I think the understanding was for a woman to join the business, it's viewed as an indulgence. If you're the son, it's an expectation. If you're the woman, it's more of let's see what she can do, and we'll see where it leads to. So I think they weren't, and luckily there weren't any cousins, or it wasn't that complex a structure either. It was just my father and myself, and I've got a younger brother who's 6 years younger than I am.
So you've grown up, you've seen the business flourish, you've gone out, you've got new ideas, then you come back and you want to implement them. Was it difficult to get your own identity in your own business, especially with the older generations present?
So the short answer is not really. Initially, I think when I joined, there is what I call the ignorance of youth. When I was 21, I was a computer engineer graduate, and I knew nothing about sarees beyond what my mum had in her closet, and even then I would ask her to tie it for me. And I think most women at that age go through a similar sort of experience. And so because I knew I didn't have a business background or a business learning or a business education, nor did I know anything about textiles or sarees, it was literally that ignorance which led me to say, I don't know anything about it, let me figure it out.
So, Umesh ji, when the Gen Next like Lavanya and Muthu